This hospital was built on trust and rules.
People don't always do what they're told.
Rule number 1, don't kill any other patients.
Why don't you skip the fuck along?
No water in LA, but it's raining assholes in here.
Hello and welcome to 2D Talk. I'm Jayse and this is my non-spoiler review of Hotel Artemis, starring Jodie Foster, Sterling K. Brown, Dave Bautista, Charlie Day, Sophia Boutella, Jenny Slate, Zachary Quinto, and guest stars Jeff Goldblum. That's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. First of all, I want to thank Cineworld Cinemas for their unlimited preview screening, which enabled me to see this movie 10 days before its UK release. Alright, so what's it about? We follow Jodie Foster's the nurse who manages a super secret members-only hospital that specializes in patching up criminals and sending them on their merry way. She is aided by her faithful orderly Everest, played by Dave Bautista. The year is 2028 and riots have broke out across LA. During the chaos, Sterling K. Brown's Waikiki and his brother Honolulu take the opportunity to rob a bank. After an altercation with the police, they have to visit the Hotel Artemis, where they meet others that are currently under the nurse's care. This establishment has strict rules, including no guns and no killing, among others. But those rules quickly go out of the window as the Artemis is dragged down into the hellhole that is the riots around it. This is the featured directorial debut for Drew Pearce, who also wrote the story. He is best known for the Iron Man 3 short All Hail the King, which gave an alternative to the Mandarin villain from the comics. I would say there's nothing outstandingly amazing about his work here as far as his direction. It's capable and it works just fine, but the concept and the execution of the script is good, really good, and it helps the cast members that are prominent to actually shine. Starting with those is Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster does a fantastic job here as a woman with dry wit and cynicism that only comes from dealing with the worst of the worst. But also, she's someone who has to hide her more emotional demons from those who could exploit it. Everything she does here works so well. She has this hurried shuffle that she does around the hotel, or the hospital as it were, but she hurried shuffles everywhere and it's absolutely brilliant to see. She's absolutely brilliant. Sometimes she's carrying a bottle of whiskey, sometimes she's not. It's great, and her accent was so on point. I really enjoyed that actual extra touch that she put onto it. Next up onto the acting plate is Sterling K. Brown. Now, I'm not familiar with his work, having not seen The People vs. OJ or This Is Us, I know. But after seeing him here, I want to see more of his performance. Along with Jodie Foster, he actually helped prop up this movie, which was absolutely, he was so good. So good here. Now I want to focus on both Boutella and Bautista because many would say that they've been coasting through Hollywood by the skin of their teeth, and I happen to disagree, and especially now since seeing this movie. Boutella as niece really works well with her cast, and to a larger degree alongside Sterling K. Brown. Her action scenes are by far the best in the movie, and what's more, it's very believable. I have long thought that she would have done well in the MCU. Maybe she could show up in the reported Black Widow solo film as another agent maybe. Speaking of the MCU, Bautista is brilliant here, with a nice yet subtle show of range in his performance. I was very surprised to see it, but also very happy. And the naysayers may say he is just playing Drax without the makeup, and I would have to disagree, because to begin with, that's what I thought. But as the movie went on, he really hit his stride. Someone who did not hit their stride is Charlie Day. You know, after his overacting turn in Pacific Rim Uprising earlier this year, and now seeing him here as the slimy, racist, misogynistic weapons dealer Acapulco, it's just all too much. His character felt painfully out of place, but I think that was more about his acting style and how he chose to portray this character rather than the script. I just don't think it was a good fit actor to script, basically. Jeff Goldblum's blink and you'll miss it appearance in the film really elevates an already tense situation. Although his son, played by Zachary Quinto, is a very cliche character. You know, it's that kind of youngest of all of his sons, a bit hot-headed, he's a bit of a prick, and wants to prove himself to his daddy, etc. So that kind of didn't work for me. Goldblum, brilliant. Quinto and Day, not so much. Okay, so let's talk about the obvious comparisons to John Wick, which has this movie on the back foot for many critics and audiences from the outset. I would say, yes, there are some very strong and in some ways shameless similarities, but there are also some stark standout differences. For instance, Jodie Foster's the nurse is far more hands-on as a caretaker of this establishment as opposed to Ian McShane and Lance Reddick, providing a less chic touch and a more deliberate and rough product. The aesthetic of the hospital is a lot more drab and dreary, and the service here is solely medical, something that the Continental does not provide. Apparently, the Continental, according to its fandom page, provides weapons and ammunition supplies, fashion and body armor, and mapping only. And above all of this, the Artemis caters to all types of criminals, not just assassins, which makes for a more volatile place to be. So let's talk about some of the negatives. There are negatives in this story, but as it's a non-spoiler, I can't mention them all. I will say that Jenny Slate's character felt very forgotten about, to be honest. She comes into the script as a serious problem and is completely left to the wayside, which I found to be a wasted opportunity. And the action, there could have been more of it, but what we got, although brief, was good, but I wanted more of that goodness. Alright, let's talk spin-offs and sequels. The movie ends in a way that totally opens it up to a sequel, and I would be more than happy to watch that. I wanted to see more of the world and what the circumstances were. Plus, spin-offs are also a welcome notion to me, and if there was a crossover element between this and John Wick, I would not be angry about that either. That would, however, make the John Wick series a set of prequels as well, which gets my mind racing with new ideas. Okay, so, as you've guessed, I really enjoyed this movie. It felt fresh despite its comparisons to other existing properties. It was funny and dark all at the same time. The action, which I mentioned wasn't a huge part of the movie, was still great and entertaining, and it made me want to see more of this world and gave me some great performances to love. I'm giving Hotel Artemis 4 riot vests out of 5. But what did you guys think, especially in the States? It came out back in June in the States. Here in the UK, you have it out on July 20th. So, are you interested in the movie? People in the States, have you seen it? What did you think? Please comment below and let me know. Please like, share, and of course subscribe. Don't forget to catch us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. That's it guys, you take care of yourself. See you later. Bye bye.